Climate change refers to long term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, but since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas, which produces heat trapping gases. Hello, Jen.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you, how do you think climate change is affecting you as an ordinary citizen?
As an ordinary person, I'd say that with the temperature increasing, there definitely seems to be more extreme weather. I mean, in Manchester it rains all the time, but it seems to be getting worse. And it seems warmer than it usually does. Um, but other than that, I know there's a lot of coverage with young people, but it seems to be that like officials who could change things really put the responsibility on young people or
Mm.
like individuals to change it. Um,
Yes, speaking about.
like there's a load of stuff changing, um, like reusable stuff and different products. Like we've gone away from plastic and we're wanting to be like more paper, like with takeaways and stuff. But then you're still chopping down trees
Mm.
to make that sort of stuff. So it's just a cycle, really. It seems to just be trends that just don't actually get much changed. Um, but you feel like you're doing something good.
Mm. Like, I get the frustration. I get that you feel like nothing's changing. I've spoken to some friends that were on the other side of the globe. And what changes do you think you can see in your daily lives? Like, what would you like to see change?
I'd like public transport to be improved personally, um, because then less people would be inclined to drive. Like, I know the price of petrol and everything has rocketed at the minute. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe just set goals by the government that would just lead us, like let us set goals for the future. I'm not sure. Um, I know there's a lot of waste, and I feel like there's a lot of stuff that isn't recycled. Like I know whenever I worked in hospitality, we just threw everything in the bin. There was like no recycling going on,
Mm.
and I wish there was more recycling at uni as well. It all just goes into one bin half the time.
Uh,
So
with
yeah.
my time as a student, to be honest, I think it was one of my most, not polluty, but I don't know how to say it, but I think I was producing a lot of waste as a student. And
Yeah.
I spoke to my friend about this, and she said something about like buying in bulk. And because I was traveling between uni and home, I couldn't really buy in bulk and carry the food with me. So, what areas do you think students can improve as a student yourself?
Well, I know like living with students, people buy a lot of takeaway. Um, yeah, so that creates a lot of waste, and I know I've been through a lot. I know in the area where we are, like we're only allowed one bin for us five people, and it
One
only
bin.
gets collected once every 3 weeks. So it's not enough really, and
How do you recycle if you
that
have
can
one
create
bin?
like vermin and other issues. But sorry,
How do you recycle if there's just one bin?
how do I recycle what?
If there's one bin, how would you recycle?
Oh right, no, no. So we do have recycling bins. It's just there's a lot of things that can't be recycled, isn't it? Like when like a lot of takeaways and stuff have gone real cardboard and stuff, but then half the time you can't actually recycle stuff that
Mm.
has had food on it, like
Pardon?
pizza boxes and stuff. Like when you order a takeaway and it comes in like cardboard packaging, say if you ordered like a dessert or something, if it's got sauce over it, I don't feel like they can recycle it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure there's something to that. I saw something where it's like you can't recycle stuff if it's got like food stuck to it.
Oh, I didn't know that. But the thing is, though,
Yeah,
food
I don't
has.
know. You'll have to research that because I'm not professional.
I feel like food has the most packaging. If you can't recycle
Yeah,
packaging that has food on it, that's a big
I
problem.
think like a lot of people as well like don't know how to like meal prep. So there's a thing with that, like you need to be taught how to cook properly. And like whenever I buy food, it's always in plastic, and it's just too much. It doesn't need to be.
Mm, you're right. And you're right about, the movement being about young people, climate change. What do you have to say to older generations, younger generations, and in betweeners who aren't really taking this seriously?
Um, well, I think as younger generations grow up, you'll definitely see it more with like physical geography, and that you know sea levels are rising and everything, and temperatures are getting worse, and there's more extreme weather, and you definitely feel it coming. Like I've come from a coastal area, and like some areas
Yeah,
could be
where's that?
underwater if the temperature continues to rise.
Mm, where is that? Manchester, do you say? Liverpool?
No, well, I'm at uni in Manchester, but I'm from like near Morecambe and Lancaster,
Mm.
which is like a bit north of Blackpool.
And with sea levels rising, has that changed anything in that area?
Well, I know it's costing the government a lot in sea defences. Like they really built a lot of sea defences, like seawall and Morecambe. But obviously, this costs a lot of money, and it's a long process to do.
Mm.
So it's a financial loss, really, if we keep continuing with not being as green.
Mm. And we live on an island. We can't wall off the entire island. This is a huge problem for us.
Yeah, exactly. And with the population growing, it's not like you can all just squid into one area.
That's
You
just
get places like Bangladesh that are going to end up underwater.
like Dhaka and all of these cities are facing like huge flooding issues. So now we'll be facing that too, and that's scary. When I went to Somalia for a visit, I could see like the sea levels rising from when I was a child. From my memories, the sea seemed a bit further back, and now there's like new hotels and all of that, being built on the beach. But the thing is, the water is getting close. Like you can see watermarks on the hotels, you can see rust from the buildings. It's very scary. You can't live there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we have floods like where we're from. And like, it's recent years, there's been so many storms in the UK, and they're like really extreme. Like, we didn't have like electricity and power for a few days because everywhere was flooded. Yeah, so it does affect like the richer people as well as people in less economically developed countries.
I totally agree. This is one world we all live on.
Definitely.
Okay. Do you have what would you say to someone who maybe isn't taking? I don't know. I don't know. Help me. Give me. Do you have anything else
What,
to
as
add?
someone who isn't taking it seriously?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, it's just like, are you sick? Like, I don't know. Like, even if you're not doing it for yourself and your own beliefs, it's literally not going to hinder you much by doing it for everyone else. Like, I feel like there needs to be certain laws or incentives to be more eco-friendly. Like make public transport cheaper and more efficient, so then people are more inclined to use that instead of cars and stuff.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Cheaper public transport can cut a lot of CO2
Mm.
from the entire world, not just here in the UK.
Exactly, and it generates more income for people in the cities as well and businesses. So it's a win-win really, and it saves on traffic.
Yeah. Plus, you're right about businesses too. If people are out and there to buy things, that's great for businesses.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. um, yeah. How hard do you think this is? Do you think this can be done? Do you think this is easy? Do you think we're way over our heads?
Um, I'm not sure how much individuals will have an impact on helping this. Like, it's all well and good as chatting about this, but if the people at the top aren't wanting to change anything, we're just fighting a losing battle.
I agree. And what about everyone else? Do you buy bottled
What
water?
do you mean? What about bottled water?
Mm.
Well, I know when I went to Rome, it was really bad to see all the plastic bottles like everywhere, littered the street. It's
Rome.
hard because like some areas don't have good quality water, do they? Like I'm lucky to come from near the Lake District, so the water's really good. But I know like here in Manchester, it tastes a bit more chemically. But there should be an area where you can just refill stuff, and like I know there's a lot of shops coming up where you can go and refill shampoo bottles and stuff, and I think that should be a more common thing.
Mm.
Because surely it's cheaper as well because you don't have to produce as much plastic.
Honestly, I agree. And shout out to Pret and Manja because when I was at that shop, I don't know if they do it in all of their shops, but I refilled my water bottle. I didn't have to buy another plastic bottle to throw away. And I thought that was very mindful of the world we all share.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, especially with the pandemic, a lot of the places wouldn't refill your coffee cup and you had to get another one, and it's like trying to balance hygiene with waste and stuff. It's a bit of a difficult one.
Mm. Is there like another perspective to this that we can all, think and come from in order to solve this issue?
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Mm,
I mean, like,
just sounded like a good question though.
yeah,
I was like,
honestly.
I don't know what that means.
No, you know what? I'm gonna back it. I'm gonna stick to it. As in, like, we're all thinking, oh, take the train, take the bus, cycle to your local shop. Don't buy plastic. Don't buy palm oil. Don't buy any of those unsustainables. Right? Is there something else we're missing?
Well, I feel like big factories need to have some sort of regulations by the bigger authorities and like the UN and stuff. Which will hopefully maybe be tackled in like the COP26 stuff, but we'll see. I don't know because you're always going to have a new product introduced that is going to have environmental impact. Like I said with like trends and stuff, like for a while we were like save water, and now that seems to not be as trending and much. And it's like don't use plastic. And I remember growing up, it was like don't use too much paper.
Hmm.
So I feel like there's always going to be products that are bad for the environment. But who knows, maybe they'll make stuff like vegan products more accessible and we'll tackle like meat industries, I don't know.
Okay. Yes, the meat and food industry are major polluters. Like, we can't just eat the planet and not worry about consequences because we're gonna be here tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's not even that, it's like the amount of water it takes and the amount of methane like cows produce. I mean, obviously, I'm a meat eater, so I'm not a saint for this. But I think we do need to cut down and more teach people about how to cook healthily in schools and stuff.
You're right. And I thought climate change, you just widened my perspective here. I thought climate change was, CO2, and I was a bit narrow minded, but now I'm seeing a bit that it's actually like the climate, it affects all aspects of my life, like the clothes I'm wearing, the technology I'm using, is that recyclable? The food I'm eating, the materials, the shelter I'm living in are made from, is this plastic here? Is that
Yeah,
recyclable? It's
and
not
the
wood.
concrete to
The
build your
concrete,
house.
even, yeah, even the wood. Like, it's literally
Mm,
humanity.
yeah, definitely.
All right. I mean, other parts of the world and throughout history, we've lived sustainably in balance with our planet. So, what has changed?
What, in terms of sustainability?
Hmm.
Well, you've got stuff like LED light bulbs and smart meters for heating and water and stuff. Um, I'm not sure because a lot of it has got worse. Like we use a lot more power for technology and all this. But you do see a lot in shops that are trying to use like recycled cotton and things and clothing.
Hmm.
And I think with younger generations, there's definitely more of an increase in people going to charity shops and reusing. You see with like Depop and Vintage
Hmm.
appearing, the clothing fast fashion industry is trying to be tackled. At the same time, you've got new fast fashion online just booming,
Hmm. Like,
while the high street shops like fall. So it's a bit of a catch-22, really.
I see. Like, I like charity. Honestly, what shopping from charity shops and secondhand, and like, using technology to solve this issue, like buying secondhand clothes from Depop, um, websites like that, like eBay, reusing. That's really good. And I didn't really think this was, like a marketable thing, as in like genres, as in, you know, guy versus girl, gamer versus, sports person, or. But I'm trying to see it from that perspective, as in, since you're a girl, do you wear makeup?
I mean, I'm wearing makeup today. Yeah, I don't wear it that regular.
Mm. And
Yeah.
is
Well,
that,
I know. Do you know what's really weird though? It's like you don't notice all the stuff like the microplastics and things, and I find that really odd.
yeah.
Like it's in the fish you eat, and in the meat you eat, and like it's in the shampoo you use, and the face scrub, and it's all just going into the sea, and then you're eating it, and it's like, oh.
That's awful. Is the makeup you use like, do you know if that's vegan? Do you know if that's sustainable? Do the brands say it is? And which brands are known for it and which aren't? Do you know anything about that?
Um, well, like the lipstick I'm wearing is vegan, and like I think none of the eyeshadow palettes I use, like Revolution, and I know they're like a vegan, cruelty free. But stuff like foundation, it's hard to get a good one that is like vegan and good for the environment, and they're very secretive about these things. And you also don't realise that like big companies own lots of little ones. So even if you're trying to go through a sustainable place, they might not actually be from a sustainable background. Like I'm sure someone was telling me that like Wicked Kitchen, like vegan vegetarian food, isn't actually like a vegan vegetarian company. It's just a branch of it, which is then using to target another audience. So, it's all about business, really. Isn't it?
Mm. Money makes the world go round, but what about the
Mm,
environment?
yeah. Well, it, if capitalism ain't doing wonders for our climate.
I mean, neither is communism. Like, what's happening in China?
Mm,
You know, the biggest
yeah,
economy on earth.
yeah, exactly. And you get all these factories that are like polluting rivers and things. But like, what are they to do? That's the way they generate income for their economy. Like, all factories are based offshore for
Mm.
stuff.
Okay. um, since you're a journalist, can you help me? Like, how, how, how can normal people every day, other than recycling, what else can they do? What else can we do to save ourselves?
Um, I'd say like stuff with like meal prepping and like buying a water bottle and plastic because it's not even the environmental factor. It saves you money and it makes you feel healthier. Like maybe because I know there's something like the average Brit has like 3 to 4 takeaways a week or something. And like that can count like anything, I think, like just going to McDonald's or actually ordering like a Chinese or something. But like actually trying to meal prep, and it's difficult though because like in the UK, fast food is cheaper than shopping like healthily half
Yeah,
the
like
time.
rather than making a
It's an
healthy
easier
meal,
option.
yeah, it's easy. I can just get, chicken and chips rather than getting all these vegetables that are super expensive.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, and especially as like now we all have to do jobs and uni or whatever that demands a lot of you at all hours. You don't have as much time to do that sort of thing,
Mm.
like cooking.
Okay, what things do you think you can change around your life in order to, be more sustainable?
I think it was Deborah Meaden of Dragon's Den. She posted a thing once on Twitter where it was like turn all your no, keep all your hangers facing the same way, and then turn your hanger the other way when you wear the thing in the year. So then you can work out what clothes you don't wear in the year, and then you can give them away. And also, like, I try and only buy a new product if I'm going to give something away. Like, because like you just need to assess like how much stuff do we actually need. Like thinking twice before doing those like drunken purchases on Amazon, like 100 plastic ducks or something.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, don't drink bottled water.
Mm. I think those are good advice. I'll try the hanger one. Thank you so much, Jen.
You're welcome.